Live in
Greetings. Greetings, Lightwalkers. Wednesday night.
Back at it one more time, man.
Wednesday night, y'all.
Straight up, man. Can't get.
What a week. What a week and what a last week.
Really, straight up.
First, before we get started, I'm going to say this is brought to you by Ancient Mystics All Natural Products. Y'all know how we do it. Ancient Mystic way. We adjust up a little bit. Just a little bit, y'all. Right?
My brother.
It's brought to you by Take Notes Productions. Y'all know we got something coming up. Ancient Mystics All Natural Products. We got the Green Party Social coming up, which is April 27th at the Marshall J. Gardner Center down here in Gary, Indiana. Still looking for vendors. Still got room, just a little bit more room. So you better hurry up and get your vending in because I think we're going to close the list by the 1st of April. You know what I'm saying? And because we're filling up. So all y'all that need to get into that, let's get into that. Yep. You know, join us for the Green Party Social. It's going to be one you don't want to miss.
I'm getting hyped for that.
Yeah, I am too. Man. This is something that they don't throw nothing like this. Don't nobody have nothing like this. The way we about to do it, people don't do this the way we doing it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have some healers, demonstrations. Oh, man, got some wonderful food to eat. Some of the best handcrafts, products that you can see for us, you know, in our markets. It's going to be great, man. It's going to be real great. This April 27th at the Marshall J. Gardner Center. You know, check it out. Beware, be alive. All right, that's that for now. Before we get started, I like to thank all the well wishers that wish me well. You know, I was in a bad car accident last Wednesday, and guy hit me so hard, man, he knocked me to the pole. They had to cut me out the car. Woo. I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad to make it through that. I'm a little banged up. So y'all excuse me, I'm moving a little banged up now, little hand stitches in my hand and whatnot. But I'm here. I'm here with you. You know what I'm saying? And all my well wishers, all the people that sent me prayers and stuff, your prayers were used. All right? Thanks for sending me to them because they were used. I used every bit of the prayers that you sent me, every bit of them. So I want to thank y'all for that. Also, oh so well. Also, oh so much. You know what I'm saying? I'm all right. I'm out the hospital. I'm moving around. I'm doing some things. You know what I'm saying? I just thank you for your support. Keep supporting. Help me recover fully. All right? That's that. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all very much. Thank you. Tonight, before we get into conversation, you know, we got weather coming up. We got eclipse coming up.
Oh, yeah.
We got the Devil's Comet coming. We got some things happening in the age of Aquarius. So I'm gonna let Chris take us into the sun.
Yeah, let's dive into it, man. Taking about a week off for the last the EQUINOX. Unfortunately, we had some.
Yeah, we had plans for the EQUINOX. That didn't happen, did it?
You know what I mean?
That didn't happen.
That was crazy how that lined up, man. So, yeah, we took a week off from the podcast here, man, just so we can realign ourselves, get some things sorted out, and get back into, get back into the groove of things, man. You know, it's been a busy time of year for us. Always when the end of March come around or when April comes around and such, you know what I mean? We got to get ready for garden. We got preparation. We got plants starting. We got all type of things going on. So give thanks for your patience, and hopefully y'all have been monitoring on your own over the past week. You know what I mean? Because I always like to put you on to these particular graphs or these particular websites to where you can pull up these features and check them out yourself. Do some monitoring over the course of a week or the times in between the podcasts. So let's dive out here to SDO satellite real quick and check out this nice view of the sun right here. There's been a lot of activity over the past 72 hours, man, and over the past week we've had an X-class flare. Man, we always got to give them the full effect, man. But we had an X-class flare come off of the sun here within the past 72 hours, an X1, and this storm was wound up being pretty huge, man, pretty large, and it caused what they call a G4 storm, or geomagnetic level 4 storm that interacted with the Earth. And anytime we have solar flares coming off of the sun or CMEs coming off of the sun that happen to pack a solar radiation storm of G4, this tends to be at the top of the chart, and we see a lot of issues with satellites and things here on the ground. to interference.
Before you go on, y'all let me know how we sound. We're having no technical difficulties with the sound. Somebody let me know how we sound.
Yeah, man. So, Anyways, we had that G4 storm or whatever that happened a couple of days ago, and over the past 36 hours, 48 hours, there's been 20 M-class flares that have happened in a row, and these are like unprecedented events. We usually don't see these M-class flares coming in a row like that, and hammering the earth and having such an impact. And if anybody is sensitive to changes in the atmosphere or the magnetic field or the ionosphere or just resonances here on Earth, I'm sure you've been feeling it one way or another. I know me, I've been kind of under the weather for the past, 7 days or so. But over the past 36 hours, man, I've been noticing how lethargic I've been and just tired. Like I want to lay down in the daytime and sleep. I talked to Brethren Aaron, and he's been, even before I brought this up, I tried to, play a placebo on him and see what's going on. Before I brought it up, he was saying that he'd been tired, and everybody at work was like, man, look at the Brethren. He looked like he's sleeping on the shift, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And everybody is experiencing one way or another. Now, what also happens when the storms interact with the magnetosphere is the shield around Earth, it does its job. It absorbs all the pressure, this big pressure wave coming off of the sun. So just think about it, man. When we go up in the atmosphere on a plane or we go down low into the sea, we feel the pressure build up. We feel our ears pop. Sometimes our nose and our sinuses, they release or they compress. And that's how I've been feeling over the past 36 to 48 hours too. It's just like there's been a lot of pressure on my head, man, and on my body, and just feel like I want to lay down to it.
Yeah, man. I had me a little nappy nap before we started this. I got a win out of it, zonked out all of a sudden.
Straight up, brother. So it's been rough like that, man. And so anybody who's in tune with these changes in frequencies or resonances here on Earth, kind of anticipate this during the times of solar influx, man. And when we see an increase in these CMEs, or these coronal mass ejections coming off of the sun. Like I said, within the past 72 hours, we had an X1 class flare that came off the sun. I tried to pull up the data from earlier, but it just wasn't loading up. But we're still in roughly like a geomagnetic 1 or even a geomagnetic level 2 radiation storm right now. And we kind of see down here at the bottom left-hand corner, about the 7 o'clock position, I just noticed a big discharge off of the backside of the sun right there, indicating that we got a lot more activity that's getting ready to turn toward the Earth that could potentially interact on the day of the eclipse coming up here on April the 8th, here in about 2 weeks. So we got to be mindful of that. And what's also cool about it too, man, is that the sun is going to be so active during this time because we are in solar cycle 25.
Solar cycle 25. I can't even get the dates going.
I'm telling you, man.
Solar cycle 25. There we go.
One of them lethargic days, man. You know what I mean? Blame the sun, man. Blame the sun. But yeah, man. Anyways, coming up on the 8th, April the 8th, when we have this solar eclipse going on, the sun is going to be very active. We're in its 25th 11-year cycle, and we're at the height of it as well. So while we're watching the eclipse happen, if you have your glasses or telescope or anything on, you're going to be able to see activity on the sun. You're going to see, like we monitor here, we see these different solar flares that kind of whip off and arc off of the sun, and we may even be able to see some sunspots and explosions if we have any X-class flares coming off. So something to be mindful of, and get out your high-powered lenses, man, to view this stuff, because it's going to be an interesting period of time for us, and we won't be able to see something like this for another 100 years at least. So, definitely a generational piece in time, definitely a generational spectacular event coming up here in the time.
Yeah, man.
But nonetheless, over the past 24 hours, we don't see much activity. Probably some sea flares coming out. We did see a couple of activities on the backside of the sun here via those big explosions. We do got a small coronal hole that has opened up a little bit. Some that have turned away as well. Some active regions, but stay in tuned for the next couple of days because the environment is primed for X-class flares to be coming out from the sun here. So y'all make sure to continue to monitor over the next few days. of the SDO satellite. And get on the website right here if y'all don't see it already. Go on to Google and do a search, sdo.gsfc.nasa.gov, and you'll be able to pull up these different filters and check it out, and be able to see like that event that just happened the other day with that huge X-class flare that came off. It actually created a rip or a tear in the sun's atmosphere, and it was pretty cool to monitor that real time. So I'm telling you, man, y'all got to keep an eye out in the sun and check it out. You have to excuse me, man. But we're gonna go ahead and monitor the X-ray flux right now. We can see, a little bit of the residue right here hanging over, kind of like the Central Americas, even up in North America in the higher latitudes. These are where like the X-rays are being absorbed into the atmosphere. Right there, boom, we see the big spike right there. Usually we see it above the poles where it's red and the ionosphere is doing its job, but over the past 72 hours, as we had that X-class flare, we noticed a lot more concentrations. People were seeing the northern lights as far as like Kentucky and Mississippi and different places in the lower latitudes like that. So definitely been a trip, man. If y'all been out there watching it and seen some colors in the sky over the past 3 or 4 days, man. So let's jump over here to the planetary K the planetary K index. We can see we're not experiencing that geomagnetic storm anymore. It's kind of dissipated over the past 24 hours, but nonetheless, there was a big spike. And as I said before, if you look down here on the chart, it was a KP8, which registers as a G4 on the geomagnetic storm scale. So, and that's unprecedented, man. It really puts Earth's magnetic field to a test, because it's supposed to be able to withstand huge events like this, or it could potentially be weakened. But as the data showed, man, it held firm and was able to get through it. So there wasn't so much for us to worry here down on the planet Earth. But definitely something to be mindful as the cycle continues. We're going to jump over here to the Endo Space Weather Prediction Center. And we can see there's always a constant stream of solar wind coming off of the sun here. Now, the X-class flare that came off of the sun recently was ejected off of the sun at 2.8 million miles per hour, man, which is a very fast storm, meaning that it arrived, maybe 2 or 3 hours earlier than predicted by the scientists and by the data. So there was a big cloud too, a big radiation cloud. We lasted for about 36 to 48 hours, and definitely we see some interactivity right here. Maybe it's one of those M-class flares that came off the sun. If you see in the bottom right there, as it just faded away, that was that X-class flare that we was talking about, that it engulfed the Earth and caused a big, huge storm for us to deal with in the atmospheres on the lower latitudes of the planet. But the solar winds are constantly kicking off the sun right here. We got a couple of M-class flares that may have popped off the sun and interacted with the Earth just slightly. And we can see the spikes over here in the density right here at the end for the planet Earth. And we see the velocity kind of slowed down after it hit the Earth and kind of tapered off. So nothing too much going on in the past 24 hours in regards to the sun. But we shall keep in mind that, on the backside, we've seen a few explosions. So here in the next couple of days and weeks to come, we shall see an increase in activity leading all the way up to the great eclipse that's coming up here on April the 8th, man. So y'all be prepared. Y'all be ready for it, because anything is possible, man, when them satellites go down. Yeah, man, so we'll jump off the sun here for a quick second, and we'll jump back over here to our CO2 monitoring station. And we notice that fire, once again, that's been churning for the past year, probably a little over a year now.
Look how dark it is.
Hey, man, it's still churning up there, man.
All kind of bacteria from the smoke and smut that's in the air. See how the winds are shifting on it and blowing it in a cyclone towards us. Look at the Midwest up in the top up in there.
Straight up, out there.
We're covered up, too. Getting some heavy winds coming over us right now.
Oh, man.
And atmospheric pressure is blowing hard over us right now, because this is all real time that you're watching.
That's right
here. So, pay attention to it. Like I said, when y'all been watching these wildfires for about About almost a year now.
Yeah, it's
almost a year.
March the 25th. I just had a notification on my phone for the first Lightwalkers.
Yeah, so we've been watching these wildfires burn, and you know, if you check the statistics, there's a lot of lung infections going on. It's been going on for the past year with a lot of people that never had bronchial troubles in their life. All of a sudden, you be picking up all this mucus and these other type of pains in your lungs and different pressure on your body. That's because we're absorbing a lot of the bacteria and chemicals that's coming from these fires. And like I said, you know, fire is soot, and the soot is in the air, and it's a resin, and it sticks to the body. And these winds are blowing this soot in a cyclone around us. If you look at the top where Illinois is, it looks striped. Right around the Great Lakes region, it looks striped. I point the Great Lakes region because that's where I'm at right now. And then if you go further into the East Coast, it's dark with it. It's smutty. I like to call it smutty. So, you know, pay attention to the winds, pay attention to what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Get your herbs, get your different things. What you see, Lion?
I was looking down here. I thought I had seen some type of different discoloration down here by Georgia, like Savannah. But I don't know.
Everybody over the United States is getting it. Last week, the week before last, it wasn't covering like this. And the monetization of last week, it wasn't as thick either. So I think as the springtime comes in and the barometric pressure changes, you see the planet is now, you know, the wind shifting and the current shifts, and it's bringing more of it in that heat. And you know, in the cold, the bacteria dissipates.
Yeah, man.
You see, but as warmer as it gets, it sticks in the air thick like a resin. So y'all be prepared this spring and summer for things. 2024 won't be a year you weren't going to forget.
Well, yeah, they've been chatting that up for quite some time now, man. And if y'all don't believe it already, man, believe it now. Because we still got a lot of months to go, man, and a lot of activity going to be happening down here on the planet and the atmosphere, man. So let's keep our eyes open and make our health most important, man. So make sure you're eating good, man. Make sure you're exercising, man. Getting the lungs cleared out, keeping the blood flowing. Get your good herbs, link up with your herbs, man. Get out in your gardens and get ready for a hell of a year, man. Strap in for the ride, man.
Yeah.
So we'll jump off of that and jump into our last feature for today, man. And we're just going to jump on it one more time because, as you know, we got the Great American Eclipse coming up here on April the 8th. Should be coming here to the Midwest where we're at. Chicago, Indiana, roughly about 2:30 Central Time, and we should be seeing it for about 4 minutes, man. So it shall be a great view if we got clear skies. If not, if you got some clouds in the sky, hey, man, keep your eyes up there because the clouds can act like a filter too.
Yeah, from that eclipse, so you can see it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So get your glasses, get your high-powered lenses out. Be ready to monitor this. I was just at Best Buy last week, man, and I seen that they got a telescope in there for $140, and this telescope is it's got a lens on it so that you can even look at the sun in the daytime and see the sunspots on it. You know,
I can do it with this camera. It has no mirror lens to it. It has no mirror.
If you could zoom in close to the sun, you could see the sunspots on there and such, man. And you could, you'll be able to view it and be able to see the eclipse in totality, man. So, and it's good for looking at the atmosphere too, because you can see up in the upper reaches, the high reaches of the atmosphere, maybe even beyond the atmosphere, and see all type of things maneuvering around. Because there's a lot more going on above us, man, outside the atmosphere than a lot of us tend to believe or think. Man. You know what I mean? We look at things in different spectrums of light or different filters on the cameras. Look at like infrared, for example. You'll see things moving around up there in ways that you've never seen before and that you cannot see with the naked eye or even through visible light. So very spooky stuff, man. You have to get into it and check that out. They got binoculars up there at the Best Buy. They got the telescope too. So y'all can check those things out, man. But make sure to get some glasses or at least get something to check out this eclipse coming up here on April the 8th, man. It's going to be a grand event to check out. Yeah, man. So here we are going over Indiana, right where we at. There go Mount Carmel. There go Vincennes. There go Indianapolis. Boom, getting the line of total eclipse right now. The line of totality. We're going to get about 90% up here where we're at, right along the Great Lakes. So anybody who's in Chicago or along the Great Lakes in Indiana, hey man, you'll be able to get 90% totality, meaning that it's going to be a hell of a view, man, a hell of a time to see it. And all the brethren out there in Ohio, Ontario, Canada, parts of New York, Pennsylvania, man, keep your eyes open because it's going to be a grand event, a grand spectacle to see. And we're going to be able to see, if you look at the sun during totality, at the 10, if you look at the sun as a clock, at the 10 o'clock position, you're going to see that comet called 12P Pons Brooks. That's 12P Pons Brooks. That's the comet that's coming into not orbit, but it's going. I think it's called perihelion, where it comes over the top of the Earth. You know, it's going to eclipse the top of the Earth, and this is going to be at the 10 o'clock position, or what they also call this the Devil's Comet. So at the 10 o'clock position on the sun, you'll see the Devil's Comet, and at the 1 o'clock position, you're going to be able to see the planet Venus right at the time of totality, man. So it's going to be an interesting sight, man. I'm pretty excited for it coming up here, and it happens to happen, about 2 weeks or maybe a week and a half before we have our event down here in Millis. So.
Yeah, y'all want to see Chris Lyon do this live? You know what I'm saying? He'll come. Because we don't bring a presentation on the Magnificent Sun live. So it's going to be, if you come to the Green Party Social, you'll be able to check us out.
That's right, man. Lastly, man, this is the picture right here. This is from an eclipse that happened last year on April the 20th. But as the eclipse happened, you'll see how this photo shows the arcs coming off of the sun, man. These prominences is what they call as they come off the corona of the sun. And you'll be able to see different arcs and different spectacles coming out. It shall be a dazzling show, man. So make sure you got your glasses. Make sure you got your lenses, your high-powered lenses to see this unique generational celestial event, man. It's going to be grand.
Yeah, man. Lightwalkers. We light walking tonight, y'all. You know, I'm going to jump right in. I ain't going to waste no time. It's casual conversation. You know what I'm saying? Or the groovy goodies. I've been, as a content creator, you have to watch stuff. You ain't gonna be a good content creator if you don't watch what's going on in the algorithm and watch what's happening. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it's trash to me, but it has a lot of things in it that are true fact. A lot of lessons in it. I've been kind of following, I don't know, this puffy cone thing with P. Diddy. I've been kind of following that. I said this years ago about how the music was satanic and demonic. I talked about this in the 90s. Those that have been around me a long time know that's been one of my fundamental lessons in hip-hop, Fifth Element. So I'm gonna deal with the music. And this music has been changing into this sexual orientation of it, this bottom low frequency. And cats like P. Diddy and many others, you know what I'm saying? The closet, the door's open. And people that open the door and they exposing a lot of this stuff now. All right, the deviancy. Let's call it what it is. It's deviancy.
Yeah, man, straight up.
But here's the thing that kills me about it. All this is going on, but people are actually speaking up, saying why they doing this to him.
That's what be killing me, man.
They doing this to him because he got the money and the power.
Yeah, what kind of excuse is that for slackness, man?
They defending this. Like I told you, one of the shows we had was Hero was the new Zero.
Yeah.
Or Zero was the new hero. Let me say it.
Yeah, most definitely.
You see? And everybody defends the evil, the forces. Now these people, they playing a game. These people were given this wealth and fame, and there are secrets. They have a book of secrets. That raid that you saw, there wasn't no raid to find no children in there. He ain't gonna have no children in his mansion. He ain't gonna have no trafficking of people inside of his mansion. That's not what he's gonna do. Don't nobody do that like that. That's shitting and eating in the same spot. You know better than that. And I don't think this man no dummy. He wouldn't be where he is if he was dumb.
Right, most definitely.
So what are they looking for? They're looking for the secrets that he have on them, on the powers of that industry. From them parties that he had, them secret rendezvous and different things, people record. Just like they have a box of secrets on everybody else that chooses to walk into that door. If you walk into that door, they have to have a secret on you.
That's right, no?
That keeps you in line. They keep you from running your mouth. You see? When you don't have secrets on you, they just blackball you. They freeze you out the money. And a lot of people can't endure because they don't have real talent, so they can't endure.
Right, man, right.
You see, they talent be falsified. It's garbage. You see, like Sukiyama having the #1 reggae song. We're going to talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute. That's whack. You see, but they have secrets. And then people went and they raided that house looking for them secrets. They need to have all the dirt on them so they can proceed with the dirt on him. It's a spiritual warfare.
Somebody said, did Puffy expose or say something?
I think this is what I think. Lightwalkers, you know, we do the math and we walk in the light. This is what I think. My opinion. I think he fell out with that alcohol company, Ciroc. Now I'm saying this because in the 90s, hip hop, its biggest endorsements when it first came in and started putting merchandise to it besides a record, was clothing. And most of the clothing was designed by the community. FUBU, the original Fat Farm, the original Sean John, Rockaway, or whatever that is.
Rockaway, yeah.
Cross Colors. You see what I'm saying? All those were brands that were made out the hood. The big endorsements started coming on the more the money shifted. After 1991, they had a meeting in 1991. I hear this peaked all over the internet, but I've been talking about this since 1991.
Straight up.
They had a meeting. They were already building prisons. This meeting was designed to shift the frequency of the music into its lowest nature. You see, this is where gangster rap came from. We're not in gangster rap no more. We done been to gangster rap. We done been to material garbage, to thugism. Now we're in demonics. And I like to say, androgynistic. Am I saying that right?
Androgynistic.
And we're in this culture now. You see, the gender benders and all this other new stuff and the glory of the things that they worship. The idolatry era of it. Okay? And the music in 1991 was shift to this. And the alcohol companies got involved in it. The spirit, first of all, let's call it what it is. It's called the spirit business. It's spirits. There's beer, there's wine. Beer would originally be called ale. Mm-hmm. There's beer, there's wine, and there's spirits. Okay. Now, all my Lightwalkers, you know, like I said, we can't talk about everything on the platform. There's a join us on some other different platforms. We can get spookier than this, but I want you to do your homework on the alcohol industry. People like Edgar Rothman. Edgar Rothman owned Seagram's Gin. When Dr. Dre and Snoop came with the record, Gin and Juice, this helped rescue the spirit business. The spirit stock had fell off. And the rappers made it rap, recording artists pretended. They made it trendy again. Mm-hmm. Past the Cavassier, the Gin and Juice. They started buying into it, investing into it, putting their name and their money into it. And here came this form of vodka Ciroc, which is Edgar Rothman and them again. And Puffy had a huge deal with them. Had his own brand. They selling this across the world. Anything the artists say, the people are so possessed, they follow it.
Yeah, straight up.
If the artist I remember when Snoop Dogg came with the chronic hat with the marijuana leaf on it. You said, I sold 1 million of them. Oh, I should have got rich. I spent money I shouldn't have spent. Because I made a lot of money off of that. It was just a regular white hat with a chronic leaf on. I was good sitting up with me and my guys. You know, I ain't never sold no dope, but that was my hustle. I was gluing hats and putting them on. Okay, that's a whole nother story. But he had this hat, the chronic. Man, that hat took off. That hat was on everybody, and people in Japan and China was wearing the hat, the chronic. Because we buy into the stars. You see, looking into the stars, gazing at the stars, and we buy into it. So these companies and corporations latch themselves onto the music, and they sell this spirit. Now, he fell out with them. You know, about a year or so ago, he had an argument, a big glitch went into that. I think he tried to leave or something. Something was going on that was real messed up. They put it in the press right quick, and it went out the press. And all of a sudden, here it comes. During this, what they call the Me Too movement, the era of Me Too. You see what I'm saying? Now, this Me Too thing, this is all spiritual, man. This is spiritual, y'all. This is spiritual war we in. Warfare at its greatest. A lot of us can't see it because we blind to, Melly Mel said in the record, blind to the ways of mankind. You see, we blind to it. We are part of it. We buy into it. We listen to it. We absorb it. We wear it, taste it, feel it. It's all over all our five senses and controls the sixth sense, the ESP. So it's spiritual warfare. It's demonic. Demonic meaning everything that's anti-mankind, or humankind. That's everything. Homosexuality has been around since the beginning of time. But there's a new form of it now. You see, that is being produced through chemical warfare, through mind control. Yeah! It's everywhere. And it's a part of everything. And they have secrets on these people. What goes up must come down. What goes around comes around. And they open that drawer on you. And they pull one of them secrets out and put it on the table. And during the time of the internet, it's easy to assassinate your character first. Because once they put it on, they get it in the algorithm, and all the people that's plugged into that matrix, that took that pill, they listen and absorb it, they don't carry the news like the grapevine. Now all of a sudden it's everywhere. And what you see now is that, and then that the ones that work for the 1%, I like to call them the 1%. We always say they did this to us. Let's talk that 1% that controlling humanity, the population, and the souls of humanity. They come along, and now they sick their agents, the three-letter organizations on you. And it's easy to get you now because you're trapped, because the modern day people push you out. Just like that story. You know, I ain't no Christian or nothing, but y'all look at that story of Jesus the Christ. How the people turned on him and gave him up to the Romans. Same thing. It's the same thing. Now they come and get you. You've already been judged by the people who have absorbed this poison. And that's what you see. And everybody has to pay. There's a price for that money. There's a price for that fame. And you have to pay. To dip off that story a little bit, I also was watching the mayor over there in, what's that Dalton? Tiffany Harden or whatever her name is. Oh, it's on her too. She got to pay. There's a price you have to pay. They let her do that. And they said nothing, no federal investigations, no nothing. But as the people that absorbed that and voted for her, now they starting to lash back. And whatever she did, that she didn't do right, push the button, sign the thing, wave the hand, whatever they told her that she didn't do right, because all of them are puppets for the puppet master. Everybody that does this, including the mayor of Chicago, is a puppet for the puppet master. You do not run nothing. You see, not even in the president of the United States, you don't run nothing. There's a 1% power. Y'all better look at that dollar bill. That dollar bill has a pyramid that is up from, that is the capstone with the eye in it. It's due to science. Lightwalkers do the science, walk in the light so you will know. You don't run nothing. And to get where these people are at, they have a secret on you, or several secrets on you. I heard the brother talk about the party when they invite you to the party. And you take a drink, somebody gave you a drink or something to smoke, and you done passed out. When you wake up in the morning, you're in some strange room. And you people tell you start doing something, they show you a tape. This is what you did last night. And you've been in some weird trafficking act or sexual persuasion. And you've been manipulated. Now you don't have no choice. As long as you do what they say do, they keep all that in the drawer, in the file cabinet. You know, and it's an embarrassment to the culture, because that's not no hip hop culture. Let me take my glasses off. Get a little deeper in spirituality today. That's not hip hop culture. That's not that. That got nothing to do with no hip hop, y'all. I'm here to tell you that right now. That ain't no hip hop people doing. Because the spirit of hip hop was a different spirit. In the spiritual warfare, they went from your highest self to your lowest first self in frequency. You see, they creating a world like that. The people ain't just turning into that. They creating this world. They creating the vibration that you under. Even the women who've been trapped into this, the way the algorithm promotes a relationship with a man now. The strugglers. How greed, no longer is it love, because the music don't say love no more. The music says, get the bag. He ain't nothing, she ain't nothing. Women have sexually objected themselves into this thing now. It's not men, it's a sad thing, because men write them rhymes for a lot of them little struggling rappers. They're struggling recording artists pretending females. But this is the women doing this. Saying, it's my body, I can do it, I can look the way, I can go outside and look like this, and I can do this, and ski, and all this other stuff. And you're watching it, but you ain't seeing it. You're actually participating in it.
Straight up, man. Preach that, brother.
You're actually participating in it. So you have to be careful of what's going on. That's why we do Lightwalkers. We do this for information. The girl Sukiyama, I got my glasses off now. My antennas is up now. I'm on something totally different. Yeah, man, for sure. You know, blessings to the ancestors and all the great things that circle around us. Keep us safe. Keep us positive. Let us walk into the light. That girl Sukiyama got the #1 reggae song.
#1 reggae song. Full of slackness, man.
Come on now.
If you listen to the song, man, you be so.
Come on now.
And
it's the #1 song. How?
It's overtaking Bob Marley on the reggae chart.
Oh no! See, all that's planned chaos.
You know what I mean, man? And you look at what this woman represents, man.
All of this is planned. This is spiritual warfare. If a lot of y'all don't understand what a witch guild is. You think a witch guild is these women out in the woods? Yeah, that exists too. That's lightweight though. That's the earth science. There's some dark forces that move the frequencies around, that change the algorithm, that walk you into this hell on earth type mentality and spirituality.
Let me chime in real quick, brother, because this just comes to mind. You know, just how we've been talking over the past few weeks as we watched hip hop kind of be erased as a genre of music or as a culture from music in general, from the world. We kind of see that happening with reggae now, you know, because now things that are considered reggae what we once used to consider slackness or dancehall or you know, these categories like Caribbean or world music, whatever they call it nowadays. But reggae has been kind of taken away like that in a sense, you know?
Because, remember, when reggae music came along, let's go to the heart of reggae. Before it was reggae, it was called ska.
Yeah.
Because of the rhythm. The Jamaican artists in Jamaica were emulating soul music here. I'm going to say that again. They were emulating soul music. Why was it called soul music? Because the music was crooning. The music was singing. It was pouring out your soul from the way you played it to the way you sung it. It was done in a way that poured into spirit. It made a lot of babies. I'm born off of soul music. I'm born off of My Girl and records like that. These were soul records. And reggae did the same thing. It emulated that. It transformed into spiritual music due to the Rastafarian movement and political. And it held roots and culture. That's what we call it? Yeah. Roots and culture. It's the roots and culture, y'all. You see? And the boy said, each generation rules the nation. You see? They said they roots and culture. So the music had a soul to it. It had a sound that moved your soul. I used to say reggae music was the real gospel music. Especially the ones that what I listen to, the Britney Spears and
culture, man.
Culture and Bob and all that was music. That was our gospel music. And Rastafari, that's gospel music. I told me some Ross Michael and the Sons of Negus in a minute.
Yeah,
many people never heard of that.
Count Ossie, man.
Yeah, many people never listened to that, never heard of that. That's the soul of the music, the heart of it. They had to remove that. Because to remove that is to remove the essence of God. Yeah. Let's talk for real. One thing about it, Lightwalkers, I don't hear to mankind's religions, but there is a one force that governs all consciousness and nature. You call it God. We're going to stick with that word that you call it right now. Because that's what you call it. Many words we got to stick with like believe. Because if I say it in another way, you fall off. Because you've been taught with the word believe me and you believe.
Right.
So we got to keep it like that. So we'll keep the word God like that. The essence of God was removed in the age of Aquarius. Now you doubt the ELO. Man, at that white man story, man, at that book back at, the interpretation is theirs. The word is the word. And y'all better hope them Christians wrong, because everything in the book of Revelations we playing out to right now today. You see it. We saw the eclipse that happened in 2017. We saw the planets align with each other. We saw the stars align. All this is in the book. It told you about the wickedness in high places. It told you about that. When you see the migrants coming over here, you see people fleeing, millions of people fleeing the country. And that they ain't just coming out of Venezuela. They're coming out of Africa, India, all kind of countries. And they coming to Venezuela to come this way on the pipeline. Something's happening. The weather, we haven't had winter. My grandmother said would come a day when the trees didn't know the wind. And like I said, you have to be off the tuning fork in order to accept this. So music had to change. They had to take the rhythm of God out of music. They took it out of hip-hop. Hip-hop was peace, unity, and love, and having fun. I ran with the architects of it, and they not evil at all. I heard a brother say, Africa Bambaataa gave me a picture, say, go kill them. And no, he didn't. They don't even talk like that. This is how we form it. And now this new frequency is added in. and killing and the violence and the drugs and the horror culture, the Jezebelians. That's what I like to call them. I'm surprised there won't be a rap group in a minute called the Jezebelians.
Oh, yeah, that's futuristic.
The city girls is the Jezebelians. You see? And this algorithm is now sold to you. And those that speak out against it, like with the little boy named D1, I be watching, he spoke out against it, he damn right.
He's speaking some real shit, man.
All of a sudden, everybody attacked him. Rick Ross get up there and says, hey man, little man, he a big dude, he a police. He the police telling you how to sell drugs. Or a fake police at that. You see? And I gave out turkeys and bites and stuff. Yeah, you also gave a recipe to date rape too. I didn't say that word, but I gotta say it. You gave a recipe to that. The mollies and the different things. And the little brother spoke out and everybody attacked him. You see? Everybody talk crazy about Charleston White, but what did I like about him? He's a court jester. He's a court jester. Because he gonna get in and he gonna crack it back at you. He ain't afraid. He don't talk crazy. He's starting to get a little weak too because the money getting to him. The money will buy you out. If you have the love for the love of money, will buy you out. When you possess things, in Rastafari they said, vanity is vexation of spirit. When you start possessing too many things, the gold, the big chain on your neck, you are effective like you were. The more things you get, my brother, the weaker this get.
That's right, bro.
But he say some very strong things. And he able to move through the thickness and cut them down. Gossip is everywhere. I done seen more men gossip than women now. Gossip. Everybody posing to be something they not in the algorithm. Artificial intelligence. Your mind, baby. Not a robot, not a cyborg. You. Programmed. This is why we do this. And this girl got the #1 rap song. And another voice, they try to silence Candace Owens.
Yeah, they do.
I like Candace Owens.
She's keeping it real for the most part.
I don't care what y'all say about her. I watch them sit up on a platform, a big fat black rapper. I'm saying it just like that. I'm calling that old fat black rapper.
Talk about your
and a little trap king down south, the trap king. Trapped in the frequency. Country in the bar, man, sausage. I said it. Cassius D said it. I attack all rappers. I'm just like everybody else. I attack y'all too. Y'all ain't getting nothing. Even you Chicago cats that I know running around talking about y'all this, that, and y'all to put it down. Y'all ain't put shit down. Y'all ain't help nothing.
Y'all better put in some.
Y'all ain't help nothing. You might have made a couple of little records, but you ain't did nothing for the hood. You ain't did nothing for where you live at. You ain't brought one artist behind you. You ain't mentor, trained nobody. So I'm talking crazy. The Lord talking crazy. So saith the Lord. But they got up there and they tried to diss Candace Owens at the little revolt thing one time. I was watching the politics thing. And what she was saying was on point.
Yeah.
This, in the days of Noah warned them. And they shut Noah. Those that come in the name of the highest being are crucified. Some sell out like the Judas, the modern day Judas effect. The more prestige you get and power you get through material, you start looking different. The minute you get jewelry on your neck and you go to acting like them rings and stuff like that, now your message become lukewarm. You're doing too many other things. Now they spreading you out to keep your message down. They spread your platform. They got your dating shows and all of this other madness. You participating in the madness, and this kills what you're doing.
Oh, man. This is a constant cycle that we see, brother.
This spiritual warfare.
And everybody make excuse for that slackness, man.
Yeah.
You know, look, man, I'll put me and you on blast right now, man. For 5 years, man, we've been grinding hard, man, in the spirit of righteousness, man. Pure heart, clean mind, you know what I mean? Giving the clothes off our back, financing everything through the money out of our pockets that we've earned, my brethren. And none of these cats, man, that claim that that they doing all this righteous stuff, or they part of this circle, that circle, doing this for hip hop or the city. What do you have to show for it, man?
Well, yeah.
What do you have to show for it, man?
You have every right to scrape the green that one. You have every right to shout into the camera with that one.
That shit
it's deep. But you have to remember something. To keep the straight path, there's glory in the path. You don't believe in anything. In ancient mystics, I don't tell people to believe in things. I tell you to have faith. Let that be the cornerstone in the culture of what we're doing. And keep the straight path. Keep rolling straight. Roll forward, we roll. The music for years, man. For years and years and years. I have been talking about the music. I have no regrets who I am and what I've done. I turned down a whole lot of things people don't know about because I was never for sale. I did this for the glory of it. When I first got into the game, it said peace, unity, and love and having fun. It didn't say kill, sell some dope, and betray your community. It didn't say launch genocide on the hood. It didn't say track the system. It didn't say the criminal element. Now Zero is the new hero, but I'm still on the battlefield, keeping the straight and narrow. And we have to finance our own things. The glory of the Most High is inside of you. And it's a war. This is spiritual warfare. Many people lost in the algorithm, so they can't really see it. They can't really feel it. It's all over them. Your children are absorbed by each generation is being absorbed.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Every day I see that.
Each generation is being, they got this little rapper. He can't be no older than 7 years old. RT. Little RT. And he got a video where he having sex, he shooting guns, he doing everything. And here's the sadness. His mama and them standing right behind him, cheering it on.
This is where we have come.
I watched the video. Like he kicking all thugs standing around him. But it was a couple of cats that was standing there was looking like this. Like, what are we doing? This is us doing this. We become the generators to this force. Like I said, they pull it out. They pull the secrets out. They put them on the table. We're the first ones to grab them because we're, I'm not an African American. Let's clear this up first of all. I don't care about all that black. Yeah, black is expression in the eye. I don't know about everybody else. But if you want to call me a label like that, and be American African, you know, I'm born here, I have African DNA. All right? But we're pushing this on ourselves now. We're disconnected from the bloodline of our families. We're disconnected from our historical cornerstones. We don't have the lessons of the elders anymore. Nobody's forcing the teachings. Now all of a sudden, the pimps and the players and the gangsters and the gangbangers is glorified. Who cares?
Shit, man.
They destroyed the community. I don't care what you is.
Yeah, they're the reason we're living in the shit that we're living, man.
And they passed the algorithm that they were first organizations that were created to guard the neighborhood. That is a lie. No, I'm saying it wrong. That's cap. That's cap. Ain't that the word they use? That's cap. They were street gangs. I was part of it. I don't even come around like that no more because all this, we so-called chiefs, because when they became organized, it was dope. They said, we organization. That's because you're so dope. You like organized crime. Everybody wanted to be Al Capone. Or the West, South, East, North Side.
What happened to the origins, man?
There was no origins like that. There were little groups inside of them that became conscious.
Well, all right, so let's break it down real quick, because the reason that these organizations started forming in Chicago, at least, was to battle back against the oppressor, right?
They was neighborhoods. You fought this neighborhood. You couldn't go on, where I'm from in Chicago on the west side, you couldn't go and meet the Viaduct. When you went on the Viaduct, the white boys down there, they had a gang. So you created a social gang yourself. All of us started hanging together. I'm going to show you some origins. There's a very famous street organization that comes off Chicago on the west side called the Black Souls. They was our enemy when I was growing up, which I don't know for what, but they was. They came from a group called the Soul Brothers, which was a skating group that skated at the skating rink, and became the Mad Black Souls, a street gang. Just like there's a Latino gang in Chicago called Albany Orchestra. On the northwest side, those that know what I'm talking about, they played instruments. That's why they have the name orchestra in there. And they used to walk home, and they used to fight the neighborhood gangs, and they became a gang themselves called Albany Orchestra. These were little street organizations, social clubs that later turned into criminal elements. I was there. I'm third generation in one of them. And they glorified this like this was this great thing. It wasn't. A lot of people lost their lives. Come on, y'all. This us doing this ourselves. In an algorithm. This is spiritual warfare. This is why we created Lightwalkers. So that you can get some light. So that you can walk in the light. All of us ain't going to be affected by this. And all of us are not part of it. Or better yet, like they said, we ain't down with it. And ain't getting up with it either. Spiritual warfare. To get you to believe that what you're looking at, you're not really seeing. And it's happening all around you. And I don't see never one time do they ever glorify the young man or young woman that went to college and made something out themselves that come out the neighborhood.
No, that's square, my brother.
What about them? Down here in Gary, Indiana, we had a girl at 21st Century School a couple years ago jumped all the way from 8th grade to college.
Yeah, true.
With one of the highest GPAs you ever saw. Why wasn't that broadcast? What about the organizations in Chicago like Kidwood Oakland Community Organization and many others that come along and they try to do real stuff for the neighborhoods, for the schools, for this. They try to prevent things from happening. We don't support that. We don't give nothing to this movement. This is a form of spiritual warfare. We blacking that out, but we'll run give our money to Russell Simmons. We'll run give our money to one of them rappers, recording artists pretending. Spiritual warfare. I took my glasses off tonight so I could be, I'm stealth. I'm in the mode, I'm the spirit. Martin Luther King said something. He said there are some difficult days ahead of us. Now he said this in the 60s. And we're in those difficult days right now.
Yeah.
We got to raise consciousness. We got to support conscious artists. We got to support young people that are really in progress. We got to get behind them. If we're going to play the political game, then we have to raise our candidates. We have to rear them and raise them. We have to educate them. We have to put our spiritual touch on them so that they go and represent the people, for the people, by the people, of the people. We're going to have to grow our food. We're going to have to create Not just homeschooling. I don't think homeschooling worked that good. Because most mom and daddy don't know nothing but the European sciences anyway. And they half-ass learned it too. Most of them struggle to get out of high school, or if they got out. So how you gonna teach the babies of today? We have to create small schools, independent small schools. I don't care if we buy a house and start with the house, like sisters like Marva Collins, Margaret T. Burroughs, who created the Summer Museum, one of my great teachers. This for my Lightwalkers out there. This for everybody to hear my voice. This for my Zulus across the planet Earth. Lightwalkers are people of the heavens. So we have to have a heavenly mind state in spiritual warfare. This is real talk. We are under attack. They're coming for the lives and the souls of our children and the offspring of their children. We're vulnerable to it as a race because we're unplugged from our ancestral chain. I'm saying this deeply because I'm watching this. You know, just to tell me that that girl had the number one. Come on. Come on. I've been showing y'all these hypocritical preachers and the spell of hypnosis. You don't think we under that too? Some of y'all are so obese and overweight because you under hypnosis. Your diet is a hypnotized diet. You eating not for nourishment, you eating for pleasure. And this creates a health crisis. And you are what you eat. So if you produce and eat garbage, you garbage. Your mind state. Our children, mamas, the woman, the modern woman, she forgot about, I'm not domestic, why should I cook? Because the babies gotta eat, the family gotta eat. That's why. Spiritual warfare. Now it says, the man versus the woman. My grandmother told me this, and I'm gonna tell you before we get off this air, I grew up myself. I grew up a Catholic. I was an altar boy and everything for about 11 years. I've entered the Nation of Islam. I dealt with the Hebrew Israelites, the Nuwabians, the this, the that. I've been through a bunch of stuff, chambers. I like to call them chambers. But I grew up in Watchtower. My grandmother lived with us. And she was, my mother's side of the family was devout Jehovah's Witnesses. So now here it is, I'm going to Catholic church, Catholic school, but my grandmother lived with us, and she was a Jehovah's Witness. So I grew up not only with the Bible, I grew up with the Watchtower and the Awake. And she used to tell me stories about today, about how the people were going to write on themselves. She told me this when I was 10. And how the wars and the man against woman and woman against man and the violence. And we are in this today. And she was a witness of Jehovah. That's why I don't be mean to those people. I don't be mean to them. I don't do all that with them. We are learning to disrespect the elders. We don't want to listen anymore. We don't want leadership because leadership brings discipline and correction. We don't want to be corrected. We want to be negative. So now our leaders are gang leaders. Our leaders some washed up crooks who couldn't teach themselves and could never taught their children at all. But they the leaders. Now their stories are the fascinating. I watch a lot of that. And I'm sad what I see. I don't hear nothing. I hear the glorifying of some old shit in the 60s history, but I don't hear the modern day time of talking about what the solution should be or giving out helpful hints and tips of what to do right. You should first look in the camera and repent to the people and say, don't be like me. Don't do none of that. Don't be no pimp. Don't be talking about you no pimp. Don't be no gangster. It ain't cool to join none of this. I don't care if I'm part of it. It ain't cool to join it. You gotta denounce it. Because most of y'all that's talking like that ain't even in the fold no more. You ain't even in the mix of it no more like that. And if you is, God help you. Spiritual warfare. Let's get to a little few comments before we get out of here. I see a couple things down there. What Rose say? Rose said something. I'm trying to read what Rose said. What she say on it? You see Rose comment? Rose Campbell.
Yeah, you got to read it. My voice about to go, my brother.
You say what that?
My voice about to go. You know
what? I can't even see it. She's talking about spirit and everywhere is unseen. You're right. These are unseen things, but they right in your face. You see? They right in your face. Come on, y'all. We got to do better or we doomed. This is a Hellenistic society, and they're going to take us all to hell. I ain't talking about no place with no man with no red suit on, with no pitchfork and no glass of water and fire everywhere. I'm talking about the mind state. I'm talking about the lowest form of thinking. We're plugged into the AI. Be a light walker and walk in the light. All right, y'all? Remember, join in with us every Wednesday night. Share this with some people. I want to thank all those that wish me well. Thank y'all. I love y'all. Go to our YouTube channel. Check us out on the Mystic channel. Make sure you scan our QR code on the flyer so you get more information about the Green Life Expo going on April 27th. Hope to see everybody there. Get up with some people. Read some stories to the children when you get a chance. Do some new creative things. Have a concern. Just not your grown folks' concern, but if you say you do the community, do the community. It's Lord Cassius D. I'm going to leave it tonight. Continue to walk in the light. Lightwalkers, peace and love. Good night.